Here we go. Welcome back to the channel. Don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe button. Tell a friend. Here we have another crazy story. Trench's news. He became famous because they say he took a stand and he told on all those individuals from O Block 6. Imagine that.
All right, let's talk a little bit about when you worked for this FBI as a cooperating informant and before this case, the times you did it before this case. Did you work? You said you were.
It's no secret that Trench's news said he used to work for the FBI. He said, you know what? He wants to promote peace. He wants to promote peace in the community. That's why he did it.
In 2006, right? 06, 07, 06, 07. Did you work in 08? It probably was a time with Watts. Yeah, that's around that time. So, yeah. Okay. And do you remember that? I don't remember, ma'am. That's been 08. I've been shot in my head and everything, ma'am.
Trench's news. He's one of those individuals, a lot of people say, you know what? He has selective memory. Imagine that. Imagine having selective memory.
Might as well stop that. I don't remember that. Okay. Well, we're going to have to go through and make sure you don't remember. I don't remember. I'm telling you, I don't remember from then. I've been shot in my head, so I don't remember that. You were out of your head in 2008? I got shot in my head, ma'am. But since then, I've been shot. So, when did...
It seems as if Trench's news, he's an interested individual.
I don't remember like back then. Like, I can remember. I know the situation was. It was a dirty cop on the low end. His name was Watts. He was extorting everybody on the low end, taking people's shit, and he took the wrong person's shit. And that day, because when he took my money, I had went to the feds. When he took my money, I wasn't going. He asked me.
Think about that. What individual in their right minds would even think about going to the feds for anything at all? I don't know.
Wants to go to jail, or did I want my money? I said I'll go to jail. He took me to jail. I got up with the feds. As soon as I got out, that's how I got with the feds, because of Sergeant Watts. Okay. And who did you work with on that?
Unbelievable. Trench's news. He's from Chicago. He's still in Chicago. I wonder why. I wonder why he won't leave.
I don't know, ma'am. I can't remember that. That's why I'm saying I can't remember. I know. Let me go back to when did you, so you've gotten shot in your head and it's affected your memory. Is that correct? Ma'am, I don't even want to talk about that, ma'am. Just, sir, when did you get shot in your head? I don't want to talk about that, ma'am. I don't want to talk about that. Judge, when...
Trench's news seems like all he wants to do, it's like he wants things to be done his way. He doesn't want to respect the law in any way, shape, or form. Imagine that. Ma'am, I don't want to talk about that. All he needs to do is answer the question. Seems like Trench's news, he might be up to no good.
Sir, when did you get shot in your head? It's irrelevant, ma'am. Judge, I asked the witness be directed to answer the question. I plead the fifth. Sir, you do need to answer the question. So you can ask the question and then you...
Imagine that. Somebody asks you a question, not incriminating, but you don't want to answer it. Sounds kind of funny to me. I don't know.
To answer. When did you get shot in the head? I got shot in the head 2004. 2004? Yes, ma'am. Okay. It still affects me to this day. So it affects your memory. Yes, it do, ma'am. Okay.
It makes Trench's news have selected memories. He could only remember when he want to remember. When he don't want to remember, he don't remember. Imagine that.
All right. then I'm going to have to ask you if you remember things. If you don't, you tell me. If I tell you I don't, would you keep on asking me? I'm going to have to ask you the questions I have to ask, sir, because this isn't Comedy Central. It's a court of law. Yes, ma'am. Okay? All right. In 2008.
Trench's News, he doesn't seem too serious. Seeming like he's on a stand playing games. Yes, ma'am.
Were you opened as an FBI confidential? I don't remember, ma'am. Do you remember a special agent, Jeffrey Moore? No, ma'am. Do you remember TFO Anthony Driver? No.
Not gonna lie. He sound like he lying. I don't know. Why he seems so angry? I thought he was there to help out. Does he feel guilty for being an FBI informant? I don't know. But he should be happy. He's getting paid for it. Imagine that. He's being compensated.
Ma'am, do you remember providing information to them? Yeah, I did. I told you that. It was a dirty cop and he was extorting the whole low end. Hell yeah, yes, I did. This was not about what?
I mean, he was extorting the whole low end. I mean, imagine that. Was everybody from the low end committing crimes? Imagine that. Imagine a police officer extorting a law-abiding, tax-paying citizen. I never heard that happen before. Imagine that. I never heard that happen before.
Dirty cops. This was about, for example, your first debriefing was about a faction of the BDs called the Son of David. Faction of BDs, Sons of David.
I mean, whatever happened to what's his name again? What's his name? I forgot his name. You know his name.
Do you remember providing information about that? No, I don't remember that. I don't remember that. Do you remember talking to them about? I don't even know. No, I don't even know what you're talking about, ma'am. I ain't gonna even lie. The Sons of David? That sound like a fucking biker gang. How about David Barksdale? David? That's BDs. That's just BDs, period, man. That ain't no Sons of David. Like, didn't you talk about the royal family?
Trenches knew he angry. He probably feel guilty. Imagine that. Imagine feeling guilty for doing your job.
Of the BDs, the royal family. What the fuck? Hey, ma'am, I don't remember. I don't know what you're talking about, ma'am. Do you provide 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 additional names in that debriefing? Ma'am, I don't remember, ma'am. You talking about something like, how long ago was that? That's like 14 years ago, 15 years ago, ma'am. Like I say,
Don't forget, this says Trench's News. He has the best memories when he tells his stories. Imagine that. He can go all the way back, all the fine details. Remember everything. Imagine that. But I forgot. His brain, sometimes it works properly, sometimes it doesn't. Imagine that.
remember, ma'am. It's so much shit. I've been seeing so much kids get killed and friends die and all that shit since then. I don't remember. I don't know no names. I don't know what you're talking about, ma'am.
I mean, it's Trench's News living in a war zone. Imagine that. He said so many. He's living in a war zone. I wonder why he don't move away. He's talking like he living in a war zone.
All right. Do you remember that? And by the way, none of that information in 2008 has anything to do with Parkway Gardens. No, ma'am. Anything to do with gangs or criminal activity in Parkway Gardens? No, ma'am. Isn't that correct? No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
All right. It was about...
No, ma'am.
Well, you don't know what it's about.
No, ma'am.
Do you remember that at the end of that...
No, ma'am.
You asked for help to be moved out of Chicago?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am. Okay. No, ma'am, because I...
Imagine that. I wonder why Trench's News doesn't want to leave Chicago. You would have thought Trench's News, all the violence he's talking about in Chicago, I wonder why he don't leave.
Because I was still in Chicago. So how the fuck I been in Chicago the whole time? Like, only time I went out of town, like when I paroled out of town, I've been in the city every time. Like, I never moved out of Chicago. All right. Well, let me ask you this. Do you remember in that cooperation, that part of the cooperation, you placed recorded phone calls to people? No. Do you remember being wired up to make drug purchases? No. No, ma'am. No. Do you remember do you remember being moved? I wasn't moved anywhere, ma'am. I always been in Chicago, ma'am. I never was moved.
Trenches news, trenches news. I mean, he's getting paid and he's angry testifying. Imagine that. Imagine having an angry employee.
Where I never been moved, ma'am. Did you ever receive a bus ticket to Atlanta, Georgia? To Atlanta, Georgia? No, ma'am. Okay. Nah. Do you ever remember telling the agents in that case that you lived at 518 East 88th?
But is that the truth, though? Is that really the truth? They said lawyers don't really ask you a question unless they know the answer to it. So right away, they're going to know if you're making things up or not. Imagine that. Imagine that.
East in Chicago? 518 East. I never stayed on no East 88th place. Only I stayed 7534 South Kingston, 63rd and 39th. I never stayed no, I don't know what you talking about. No 88th. I don't know what you talking about, ma'am. Okay. But you were a confidential informant in 2008. You remember that? And you remember that you did not make any claims about any gang activity or criminal activity at Parkway Gardens. Is that correct? I never provided no activity. I went to them because a dirty ass cop from the low end had took my money and he was extorting people and he was...
I mean, whose money did he take? How did he get that money? Imagine that. I don't know a lot. The only thing I know is Crown don't pay. Trenches news. You know, he made his way to fame. You know how he made his way. Unbelievable.